Okay, good day everyone. So my name is Jake Samiliano Rentosa. Today I will be discussing the fundamental concept of report writing. So let's begin with our discussion. We have here the four fundamental of report writing. So first we have the KISS concept. Second, we have the quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Third one is we have the graphic organizers. And the fourth one is we have the documentations and citation. So let's begin with the case concept. Case concept is actually an acronym that stands for keep it short and simple. So this idea remind us that when we speak or write, specifically in formal communications or presentation, we should use simple and concise words. We don't need to use big or complicated or technical words just to sound smart. Instead, we focus of being clear and direct so that everyone can easily understand and or I easily understand what we are trying to say. Also, this concept teaches us to express ourselves genuinely or authentic, rather than trying to impress people with fancy words. It's better to be understood than to confuse our audience just to sound impressed. In short, this KISS principle is all about clarity, simplicity, and being effective in our communication. And the next one, we have the quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. So, in academic and professional writing, it is important to understand the differences between quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing, as these techniques are commonly used in or incorporating ideas from the sources. So let's begin with the quoting. Quoting it is the exact copying of a portion of an original text. So basically here in quoting, it is used when the author's exact words are significant or powerful and it should be preserved. So quotation marks like katong ana siya. Quotation marks are used to indicate that the words are not the writer's own. So basically here in quoting, now we are just trying to preserve to get the exact words that the author's given, no, not to the writer. Next is we have the paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is you need to use your own words and restating author's ideas or words. So it involves restating the author's ideas in your own language, in your own words. Unlike quoting, paraphrasing requires a complete transformation of all original wordings while keeping the original meaning intact. So you are trying to rewords, no, at the same time the meaning is intact or there's no change with the meaning. So this method demonstrates understanding and help avoid plagiarism. So the main function also of this paraphrasing is to avoid plagiarisms of the author works. And the next one is, and the last, we have this summarizing is a recapitulating author's ideas or words. This is a short statement of the original text rather in your own words. So in summarizing, it is the process of being briefly presenting your main points of the original text. No? It is a shorter version of the source's materials and focus only on the key ideas, making it useful for providing an overview. So you're just trying here to synthesize all the author's sources. No, imo siyang gipagamay ang mga source, no, or the author's statement. And with this, understanding and applying these techniques correctly allows a writer to use sources effectively while maintaining originality and academic integrity. So that is a function of quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing and writing a report. We have here naman, the third one, we have the graphic organizers. So graphic organizers divided into two, or it can be classified into two. We have the tables and figures. So we will be discussing that one today. Graphic organizers are visual tools used to present information in clear structures and easily to understand in manner. They are commonly used in reports to simplify complex data and enhance the reader's comprehension. So we have here the one common type of graphic organizers is the table. So the table is compact summary of data or informations which is systematically presented in columns. So these tables provide a compact summary of a data or information systematically presented in rows and columns. So they are useful for organizing and comparing informations, allowing the readers to quickly scan and interpret the data. And that's the functions of a tables or the classification tables in this organizer. And the next one naman or example or the classification, another type of graphic organizer is we have this figure, which may include graphs, charts, or illustrations. These figures are specifically help when visualizing trends, relationships, or patterns within a set of data. They make the informations more engaging and easier to analyze. So these both graphic organizers is useful, no, in the user specifically when they are grouped or referenced together in a formal report. This classification helps to organize various visual aids for easy reference and ensure that the reports remains structures and professional. So in using this both graphic organizing and report enhances clarity, supports data interpretation rather, and improves the overall effectiveness of communication. And that is the function of graphic organizing in writing a report. And also, let's go to the last fundamental concept of report writing. We have here the documentation and citation. So let's make it brief na lang. Documentation and citation, so these are an ethical practices. It is essential in developing a well-structured and credible report. This involves the proper acknowledgement of the reference and sources that we were used to support the content of the report. So it's more on ethical practices where we cited the author, cites, or we as a writer gives respect to the authors as a reference with our report. Citing resources is important because it gives the credit to the original authors to the gives original author to their ideas or informations. It avoids plagiarism since you respect or you gives respect to the author's works. And it allow readers to locate the original source for further readings. So a typical citations includes the author last name and year of publication placed within the parentheses. For example, like more on research, like Rentosas 2025. and that they have a different citation style used in academic and professional writing. But the two most commonly used, we have here the APA, or the American Psychological Association. So these are more or very common and use common on the social sciences, more on sciences. And the next one is we have the MLA, or the Modern Language Association. So these are commonly used in the humanities, especially in the literatures and language studies. Using proper documentations and citations ensures honesty, integrity in your writing, and help maintain academic standards. So as just always bear in mind that in documentations and citations, it practice na ethical and proper acknowledgement of the authors, and also it divided into two. What are those? So it is an APA and MLA. Understand? Okay. Let's proceed to this 10 step in writing a report. So in writing a report, you should determine the problem. So clearly state the issue or the questions of your report. The next one is identify your audience. You need to determine who will read the report and tailor the language and details accordingly. Third one is we have identify the information needs. So you need to determine what data or research are necessary for your report. The third one is we have to gather necessary informations and data. So you are collecting data from the reliable sources. Next is we have the summarizing findings. You need to condense the collect informations into key points. So, imo siyang gipagamay and turn it into key points. Next is we have the design, organize, and write your report. So, you're just trying to structure the report logically using headings, subheadings, and visual. So, that is the main function of here in number 6, design, organize, and write your reports. Next is we have the draw a possible conclusions and recommendations. So you're just trying to analyze findings and suggest suggestions or actions that is needed. Next is we have the site reference. If applicable, you need to properly document all the sources to provide to avoid plagiarism. So just like what we have discussed today, the proper or the ethical practices as a writer. Next is we have here the review and revise your report. Proofread carefully for your clarity, accuracy, and style. So that is a function of review and revise on your report. The last one is we have present or submit your report. So you were just to deliver your final report according to the requirements, according to the date na ilahang due date about the reports. And that is the 10 steps in writing a technical report. So divide into two main types. We have informal and formal, depending on the purpose and structures and audience. So let's begin with the informal report. So these are typically short documents such as letters, memos, or emails. So they are used for quick and internal communications within the organizations. These are particularly within the organization. These reports are direct and straightforward, often addressing immediate concern or updates without requiring extensive formatting or detailed analysis. So, more on direct. There's no more extensive formatting or detailed analysis. It's more because it focuses on the concerns and updates of the organization. On the other hand, and also these formal reports, it's divided into three parts, which is the introductions. You're just trying to state the purpose. The body, you're just present the data or the findings of the reports. And the last one, conclusion or recommendation. Here you are just trying to conclude, no, to summarize and provide recommendations about the specific reports. Next is, and also in the other hand, we have here a formal that can be used in form documents, direct and clarity, analyze, purpose, and recommend. So here it's focused on more, or it's more on comprehensive. They're often used in-depth analysis, proposals, and recommendations. These reports follows more structured formatting, are typically longer. Formal reports are commonly used in external communications or presenting findings or decision making. Although this document still benefits from the KISS principle, keeping the content short and simple for the clarity and effectiveness. So the difference between the formal and informal is the formal is used, no, it's more on comprehensive and it is external, no, sa labas. While ang informal, it's more on immediate response or concerns, no, within the organization or internal. So, and also further from that, these are the key difference between the formals and the formal reports lie in their formality, length, and purpose. Informal reports are brief and often use the internal communication at what I've said earlier. While the formal reports are more detailed, structured, and use the important or official matters. Regardless of the type, clear and concise writing is essential in both informal and formal report to ensure that the message is understandable and well received by the audience or by the readers. We have here the three level of reports. First is we have the reports or the information only. So these reports provide factual data without any interpretation. And some example of this is the sales reports and quarterly reports. Sales reports, these are the weekly and monthly sales figures, while the quarterly reports, so these are the productively and profit figures from the quarter. And the next one, we have the information plus analysis. So this report presents both data and interpretations or insights. So examples include the annual reports. So annual reports, these are the financial data or the summary of the organization's achievements over the years. Next, we have the audit reports. These are the facts and uncovered during an audit. Next is we have make a good report. So these are the calculations on when the new capital investment to pay off. And next one we have information plus analysis plus recommendations report. So it's here you're just trying to evaluate two or more alternatives and recommended which alternatives and organizing should it choose. Now we have here the example. So justifications report. So you need to justify the needs for purchase and investment, new personnel line, and change in procedures. And the next one, we have the problem solving reports. You're just trying to identify the causes of an organization problems and recommended a solutions. And that all my report today. And this is my reference for my report today. And that's ends our discussion for today's morning. Thank you everyone and God bless.